How's it going today? Thank you for tuning in again to On and Off the Road again. I am out here on this gorgeous day with my oldest daughter, and we are out on a ride. I got to sneak out from all of our home renovations that we're in the middle of, but I was able to bring home this weekend a BMW F900R. And I tell you what, this thing is a really pleasure to ride. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. I kind of base things off of my experience on my Suzuki SV650, which unfortunately I did just sell, which I'm a little bit sad, but I'm looking forward to my next bike. But right now was the time to sell, and so I don't have that anymore, which is a little bit sad to me because it was so much fun to ride. But today we're going to be talking about the BMW F900R. It is a 2022, I believe. And I tell you what, this thing is a lot of bike for the money. It is not, so it's a sport naked bike if you're not familiar with it. And it is a really nicely balanced bike. You get a lot for your money in that it comes with a lot of features that a lot of bikes in this class just don't come with out of the box. So there's things I'm going to go over that you get on this bike that BMW just that's just how they package them. There's not really a way to get a base model per se. Like hopefully you saw my other video of the Suzuki GSX 8S, which is also an awesome bike. And dynamically, as far as riding it, it is a little bit different. That one does feel kind of a little bit more tossable, uh, but it is different. I don't know quite how to describe it. They're both awesome bikes. That one does feel maybe slightly more powerful. I think probably because it's a little bit lighter weight. But depending on what you're going for, this BMW is definitely worth considering. And I'm gonna go into it here and show it to you just so you can see with your own eyes and go over some of the features. And here we go. It is a full naked sport bike. Uh, BMW kind of considers it a roadster in their roadster class because of no fairing. It doesn't fall into the same class in the BMW lineup as the S1000R the S1000RR. It is in the same lineup as the S1000R because they're both a naked type bike. This one is awesome. It definitely costs less than the S1000R, but I mean, it's a less powerful bike, but it costs less. This one is really nicely packaged and featured, though. A couple of things you can see at a glance. If you look, you notice that little bit of gold color. That means it has electronic suspension, which is right there. You can see it says dynamic ESA, which is something you can actually change on the fly, which is pretty cool. So it comes with electronic suspension. You can also see here, if you're able to keep an eye out for the sensors, this has the select shift or shift assist, excuse me, that BMW has, which is their version of a quick shifter, and it works up and down, and it works really well. You can be open throttle and hit it, and it will just shift smoothly. It'll rev match. It's really awesome. You see this one also comes with a center stand, which is really nice for chain maintenance. You can see it down there, which, in this kind of bike, it does add a little bit of weight, so it kind of depends on what's important to you. But this one, I'll give you a little bit better picture here. This one is a parallel twin. You can see the header pipe coming out. So it is the parallel twin. They call it a 900, but it's actually not actually a 900cc. It's like 849 or something like that. But it is 105 horsepower, so it definitely has the power. And it does have Brembo brakes, which is a nice add on it as well. You can see it there. Dual calipers, dual discs. You can see the two discs there. Inverted front forks gives you really nice handling. You can also see it's a full LED front headlight, which looks really nice. Has really good visibility. You can add a little bit of a windscreen if you want. There's the ability to do that. You can see the two points there. This one is also equipped with keyless ride. which is kind of a BMW feature on a lot of their bikes. So you get a fob, and looks like this, kind of like a car. So you don't actually plug it in. It does have a key stick that you flip out, and really all you do with it is unlock the seat, or if you want to actually lock the steering in place. So it is set up, actually, you can see, for side bags. You've got these mounts, so they actually have side cases, or I don't know if they're soft or hard as far as what BMW offers, but you do have the option. It comes equipped to do that. And you can see it's got a low mounted exhaust. It's not a high, and it sounds pretty good, really, for what it is. I like it. I'm going to start it up here shortly, and you can take a listen. You can see here too, maintenance wise, fuel or oil filters right there, so it's pretty easy access. I don't quite know where the oil drain plug is. I'm sure it's down there somewhere, but they're actually not that bad as far as an oil change goes. People have this idea that BMWs are really expensive and difficult to maintain, but they're really not. But a really nicely done bike ergonomically. I will say, though, the seat is a bit firm, at least for me. Of course, I'm not a big guy. I don't have a lot of meat on my bones, but it's a pretty firm seat. And I would advocate for some sort of a fender delete or something different. That thing sticks out quite a ways and isn't the most attractive in my opinion, but that's just my 2 cents there. So you can see this one has the typical menu options for the BMW operation, your multi-selector and then your menu button. Here is the suspension button, so you can actually push this and change it. Your cruise here, signals, horn, your standard. One thing that's really nice on BMWs, on the clutch and over here on the brake, they're both adjustable. You can adjust the distance, how it moves away, because everybody's hands or fingers are a little bit longer than others, and you can adjust that for what's a comfortable grip for you. This one also has heated grips, your different ride modes you can select here. And then we'll wake this thing up, and you can see this one is equipped with a GPS because it comes GPS ready, and that's the Navigator 6, the newest version of the Navigator you can get. And then here you can see in the upper right corner where it says dynamic there, if I hit mode, I can actually even put it into dynamic pro. There's a rain mode, road, dynamic, and dynamic pro. I'm going to put it back into dynamic because I don't need to be crazy. And then over here you have your suspension modes, which if I push that and I look down here, see it says dynamic, or you can go to road. So those are your two options. And then when you want it, you use the wheel on the left hand. So if I go to road and then I select it, I think it worked. Let me just double check. Yeah, it did. Okay, so when you're on it, then you can also go change it to dynamic. And I haven't played with it enough to get it over to how it's set where it shows your helmet and the shocks on the right side. So you can actually set it up for two-up riding as well. On the top, you see it's got your fuel gauge there. You can actually change that with the top of the menu button here. And you can change that. If you hit it, you can have your odometer. You can have it so trip meter, trip 2, average fuel economy. Let's see. I think that's time riding, 19 minutes and 19, I think. Then this is your brake time. That's a European thing, I think. And then you can also have your average speed, tire pressures, your range, and then again your fuel mileage. And another cool thing I want to show you too, if you go into your menu, you can go to sport and actually have it show it. So it shows a sport screen, and it can show you, there's a couple options here, but this is your traction control, how much it's used or not used, your brake response over here, and then it shows you your actual lean angles. for a given ride, which is kind of cool. Your tack in the middle, speed up here, and then you can also go over and change if you want to change it here. If you're going to do like a lap day or something like that, you can track your lap times and things like that if you're going to go take this to the track and race it, which is kind of a cool feature. Or you can go back and have it just be your standard display, which is what this is. So without further ado, here I'm going to fire it up, and you can hear the BMW parallel twin there rumbling. Has a 270-degree crank. You can hear the engine's got a little bit more of a mechanical noise to it, but I tell you, when you're riding it, it's definitely quieter. It must be maybe an oil pressure thing, I'm not sure, but it sounds good. So that is the 2022 F900R BMW, and I would say this is definitely a contender in the sport naked bike world. It's maybe not the fastest or the most impressive on paper, but I tell you what, it rides really nice. You get cruise control, you get heated grips, you get a lot of great features like electronic suspension that you just don't get on other bikes, like the Suzuki GSX 8S, for instance, or even like the MT-07 or MT-09. Those features just aren't on it. You don't get cruise. You don't get heated grips. So definitely worth considering. It's a lot of fun to ride. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and have a wonderful day.